The sun is shining and so will your bank account after taking action on this video, because I will share with you the numbers behind how I helped one of my clients make over 4 million euros per year, or in freedom dollars, it would be like 4.4 million. About that, a lot of money. Let's just put it that way. Like they are making like 20 million a year. So we were able to sort of increase it by 20%. By doing 2 automations, so 2 workflows that we automated. And I will break down the numbers for you and show you concretely how you should think about your business and what parts to automate and what is sort of the potential of AI when you do it correctly. So this will be a very valuable video for you. Let's get right into it. And first of all, I need to tell you that before starting any project, it's very important that you sort of figure out how is your business like set up right now? And then you focus on the processes that is limiting your business. So what are the limiting factors in your business, and where can we actually save time or make more money? So how can we increase revenue or save time so that we can spend that time on increasing revenue? So because that, at the end of the day, as a business owner, that's what you care about, making more money. And if your bank account isn't increasing from month to month, that means that you are not implementing AI correctly. You're not implementing AI in the areas where you should be doing it to grow your business. So we had a process. We started off by doing a very deep discovery on their business. So we went through all of their processes. How are they doing day to day? And where I like to start is sales, because the thing that I've learned is that if you help the sales part of the business, you usually make more money, all right? And this is why the easiest start to starting to implement AI is focusing on sales. And here I wanted to know, are there any ways we can help the sales guys save more time? Because I knew that if we can help the sales guys save a couple of hours per week even, they can then spend that time on actually increasing revenue. So we went through the processes, and I came to find out that they have a process right now that every sales guy is doing manually. And this was a process, I don't need to go into the details, but the point is that it was a manual process where they did manual data entry. We essentially figured out this one task that is taking 1 hour per sales guy per day, which means by my calculations that it's 5 hours per week that every sales guy is doing. And they had 10 sales guys, which means that this is a process that is sort of eating up 50 hours of their week as a company. And now I have created this automation that will show you sort of how much money are we saving. But here's the best part is yet to come. So here the thing is that we're saving 50 hours per week, and then it's pretty straightforward to sort of calculate like what is it worth the time that we're saving here. And they have on average around 30 hours, 30 euros per hour, their sort of salary. I think that it's higher usually, after commissions and stuff, but let's just go with 30 as a conservative figure. And as I said, we also made improvements into sort of the output. So when they did the manual data entry, the results weren't like 100% every single time. And I would say that we likely increased sort of the quality of the output by 10%, but I'll just, be conservative and put 5% here. And then let's just say this was not directly the implementation cost, but if you want to play with the figures, around 2,000 euros for the implementation cost, 400 euros per month. Let's just play with that. And then here on the right side, we can see sort of the hours saved monthly, and then annual savings yearly, if you just take a look at sort of how much is the labor worth. But here's the cool part, and that is that these are salespeople, which means that if you can save a sales guy an hour, it's not just an hour, it's not just 30 euros that you're saving them, because they have an opportunity cost. Now they can take that hour and actually spend that on getting more customers. So even though the annual savings were, like, let's say 100K, in reality, when they can use those 216 hours per month, they can go and hunt for even more. So in reality, this actually, when we did the calculations, they are actually making over over 1 million. They're sort of like making over 1 million more. So they're saving 100,000, or not really saving, because they're now spending that time on making 1 million. But the point is that we are now able to make 1 million more per month, not per month, per year, because of this automation. So obviously the savings are much higher than what you initially would think of. Then the next step that we did was that now we sort of focused on saving them time and getting that time back, focusing that on revenue adjacent activities. So what are activities that are close to revenue that makes us more money? But another thing which we did was that we started an email outreach campaign. And the cool thing here is that this was entirely new from their other sort of business activities. They hadn't done any cold email before, only cold calling and then inbounds and ads. So what we did here was that we actually, I automated a system, and I trained their guys to be able to handle it. And now, last month, we generated 36 meetings with this new system. And if you now sort of want to calculate how much money are we making out of this system, it's 36. It's essentially the amount of meetings you have per month. So how many more meetings are we getting? Their closing percentage, and then we calculate their lifetime value of customers. And I already put the numbers in here because these were the stats from last month. So we actually had 36 meetings. We had around a 80% closing percentage. We don't have the updated figures. Like these were the figures taken at the, I think, 30 meetings mark, but essentially it was 80%, right? They have a very high closing percentage, just because it's such a no-brainer product, and it's such a sort of niche market that we were able to get really good results with it. So that means that per month, if you look at the sort of monthly revenue, by implementing this system, their monthly revenue went up by 172,000 euros, and their net annual profit were 2 million, over 2 million after sort of taking into consideration the automation investment. And this automation investment, this is around what it sort of cost them. So we have, I'm not going to go into the sort of cost structure right now, but either way, even if you double this right here, it's still a no-brainer. Even if you put this to 10,000 and you put this to 3,000, you're still obviously, I mean, the revenue stays the same. So this is sort of what I'm talking about right here. So before you do any sort of automation, always think, like, how is this actually going to make us more money? And you either want to save time so you can use that time for generating more revenue, or you actually want to create systems that brings you more revenue. So this is the way you can actually, before you do any AI automation, you can actually calculate, like, how much profit are we going to get from this? Like, what is the actual end outcome that we're going to get? And, you know, it surprises me that a lot of people, they're not thinking of these things. They're not thinking of, like, what will actually my return on investment be? So hopefully this is useful. I will link this in the description. You can have a look at this yourself. Here are essentially a couple of different sort of methods of calculating your return on investment. I will also be updating this and putting more things in here. It's totally free. It's up for you to grab. And this is also, if you are, for example, an agency, or you're a service-based business that helps other people with, you know, getting more clients or getting results, or your automating process, this will be very useful for you. Because, like, my sort of sales calls are very easy, because we can sort of calculate what will be the benefit. And then I work mostly on a performance basis, which means that I only get paid when I get other businesses results. So this is how to think about it. This is the name of the game in AI. And I wish you all the best of luck in growing your business. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next one. Take care. Goodbye. Bye-bye.